Greetings, Indie Warriors, and welcome to I Dream of Indie Games. It's Old Gamer Joe here, and you know what time it is. That's right, a brand spanking new episode of The Dream Drop, running down all the indie and AA releases of note, this time for the week of February 16th through the 22nd of 2026. I have to say that this February has been amazing so far, with some awesome drops, and this week won't be going any easier on your wallet, so get ready to shell out that hard-earned cash, because you're gonna need it. Please note, this list does not include early access games. But real quick, you can support real people that make crazy lists like this over at patreon.com/idreamofindiegames, where we are bringing a voice to the voiceless ones in gaming. Your new indie gaming community is waiting for you. Alright, before we get into all of those awesome releases for the week, we've got one more headed your way from our amazing indie sponsor for this episode. It's Nightscape, launching early 2026 and coming to Steam, PS5, and Xbox consoles from Mazan Studios. Even better, there's a demo available right now, so use the link in our description box below to give it a go and add the game to your wishlist while you're over there. Nightscape is a 2.5D adventure game that has been heavily inspired by Arabian astronomy. Take control of the elements, controlling a young girl who is accompanied by a goat companion on her quest to restore fallen stars to the sky and find out where her father is gone. There's tons of puzzles to crack and powers to be discovered in this great-looking indie that we won't have to wait much longer to play. And like I said, there's a demo available right now, so get down to that description box below, wishlist Nightscape now, and help a small indie reach for the stars. It doesn't hurt that the game looks really damn awesome. But alright, you know what time it is now. It's on to the indies. Starting things off, why not join Captain Kirk and the gang for yet another voyage into the unknown? This is Star Trek Voyager Across the Unknown, launching on PC and all major consoles on the 18th. The fate of the galaxy is in your hands in this survival management title that will put you in charge of your fleet and call for critical decisions that could change everything. Explore the dangerous Delta Quadrant, collect resources, and take down enemy ships in this new space adventure that Trekkie fans won't want to miss. Honestly, I never got into the show myself, but I always liked the idea of it. Taking place in Norway during the Viking Age, next on our list is NORSE, Oath of Blood, launching on the 17th for PC, PS, and Xbox. This turn-based tactical affair will have players controlling Gunnar, a warrior attempting to rebuild a decimated settlement and gain vengeance for the death of his father. Use your brain carefully to strategically position units, and be warned, the terrain shifts, meaning that where you are on the map will be paramount to your success. There are tons of roles to select between, buildings to create, and alliances to forge in this epic-looking release, coming to us from Arctic Hazard and Tripwire. I'm low-key excited for this release. Sorry, that was pretty terrible. Do you need a new roguelike game? No? Well, too bad, you're getting one anyways, because SealChain Call of Blood is coming to Steam on the 20th. In this title, you must collect items and link them together to create epic chain reactions. Whoa, bro! Come up with unique arrangements to create the most powerful of seals and unleash them onto your adversaries. Give them the old Ultra Combo! I always wanted to do that and have someone outside of my immediate family hear me. There's different characters to choose between, a talent tree to master, endless mode, and more in this chaotic-looking indie coming to us from Alive Game Studio. Styx is back, remember that series? You know what rhymes with Styx? Never mind. I've been around a long time, so I remember Styx. Stealth fans will want to pay close attention to this release, sneaking its way onto PC, PlayStation, and Xbox on the 19th. It's Styx, Blades of Greed. Take control of your favorite potty-mouthed green goblin, not associated with Spider-Man, in this stealth release that will have you leading a crew across bases, vertical environments, and beyond. Unlock new tools and stealth abilities, but don't get caught or it's game over. This massive orc-filled world seems to hold a good deal of promise, but we shall see later this week. Now, I know Shrek is more of an ogre, but these two seem to have a lot in common. I mean, heroics-wise. Did you play the old Styx games? Let me know in the comments below. Speaking of franchises trying to make a comeback, this is Demon Tide, surfing its way on PC and Switch on the 19th. Take control of Beebs, sailing across Ragnar Rock Ocean in this massive 3D platformer that seems to have no shortage of charm on its side. There's tons of varied locations to explore, secrets to discover, enemies to bop on the head, and more. Grapple, jump, and slide your way to success as you gain new skills, unlock fun outfits, and even go up against ghosts of other players to try to achieve the best time. Seems like an ambitious little indie with lots of promise, so keep it locked to I Dream of Indie Games for even more coverage on this one. There will be blood in this scary new release from Phoenix Incorporated. Menherarium is coming to Steam on the 18th. It's a roguelike deck builder with a sinister edge that has players attempting to last 7 whole days against a diabolical anime girl. That doesn't sound so bad, but no, she's really sick and twisted. You are trapped and must put everything on the line, but no, not your money per se. Blood. Literal blood is what you wager. This is sick and twisted enough for me to want to give it a go, even if I'm a bit over the whole roguelike thing. How much blood will you wager when the game looks to drain your wallet this week? You 90s kids out there like me may want to pay attention to Under the Island. Not to be confused with that Weezer song, Island in the Sun, which I admit is a guilty pleasure. Hey, I like the Green Album, okay? It was just a little bit on the short side. This is a retro-fueled 2D action-adventure game that tells the story of Nia, who is tasked with exploring Seashell Island. This island hosts many secrets, scary monsters, puzzles to solve, and more. With great pixel art, a classic top-down view, and 6 different biomes to explore, this could be the one that ends up on a hidden indie gems list in the not-so-distant future. But hopefully for the devs, it sells better than that, because usually if you're on that list, you didn't sell well. Sorry. I mean, an island does sound nice right now. It's flippin' freezing where I live. I'm a sucker for golf games, and I've even tried to play on full courses before IRL, but I'm typically so awful that it just makes the people behind me angry. Sure, not the most welcoming sport, but at least in video games I don't have to worry about looking silly. Super Battle Golf is a multiplayer game for up to 8 players that features point-based scoring, over 20 unique courses to golf on, and even special items to give it a bit of an arcade feel like the Hot Shots games. Add in character customization and unlockables, and this could be a hole-in-one when it hits the green on the 19th. I don't claim to know much about the stock market, but maybe insider trading would be a good starting point? Probably not. This is yet another roguelike deck builder where you play as a trader who must get the market to work in their favor. Don't get too greedy or you just might crash and burn. Draft new cards, make deals, and collect over 60 different perks in your efforts to avoid a complete recession. This isn't your ordinary trading sim, so find out if you can make a fortune when it releases on the 18th. I think I'll stick to my one scratch ticket a year though. Enter Siberia in Life After End, releasing on the 16th. This post-apocalyptic survival game will blast you back with dangerous colds as you attempt to survive hunger, sickness, and sheer exhaustion. Gather up as much food as possible, create weapons to battle off dangers, and do what you can to avoid freezing to death. There's various maps and modes, animals that need to be tamed, and an extremely deep crafting system that fans of the genre will have great appreciation for. See if you can survive the Arctic winds for yourself in this release from Greedy Panikin. Gobble gobble? Nah, it's more like Dobbel Dungeon, am I right? Lots of roguelikes this week, jeez. This game is powered by dice, where combat is based around how well you roll them. Create a party of heroes, all with unique abilities and modifiers, and unlock new heroes as you embark on epic quests. There's bonus challenges to tackle, massive bosses to defeat, and a shared skill point system that adds a unique element of strategy to this charming indie adventure. If you've somehow still not added enough rogue games to your library, well then here's another one to be considered. It's too bad this game just missed Valentine's Day, but still it would break my heart if you don't check out Love Eternal, a creative indie that's coming to us courtesy of Eastbird Games on the 19th. This creative little title takes place within a castle and combines horror elements with platforming precision to make a compelling looking and playing indie gaming experience. It's moody and bleak as you dig on over 100 different screens, carefully trying to avoid deadly traps like spikes. Don't you end up impaled, and find out if love is truly eternal later this week. Here's something a bit more relaxing for you after you got that spike up your butt. The rather chill-looking Placid plastic deck, a quiet quest. You won't find any blood, guts, and death here as you control a plastic deck which peacefully drifts across a variety of different environments. There is a little bit of light puzzle solving here, but no major timers to be worried about or fail states, and room for experimentation too in this charming looking release that should put a smile on that little face of yours. This one will be floating along nicely on the 17th. Fans of Ys 10, time to get annoyed if you've already purchased this game because an updated version launches this week. Ys 10 Proud Nordics is the latest entry in this classic ARPG franchise, being billed as the definitive way to play. Improved combat has been implemented, narrative events added and improved, new gameplay mechanics, challenging extra dungeons, and even some graphical upgrades. Why didn't they just do this in the first place? Though selfishly, I have to admit I'm glad I waited because I did not play Ys 10 and very much want to. Now I can, on the 20th. I mean, I could have before, but I didn't. Get out your cameras, Indie Warriors, because it's time to go on an African safari and enjoy the scenery in Seclusa, coming to us on the 16th. Enjoy majestic creatures in their natural habitat and grab nifty pictures while also using upgrades, and an assortment of collectibles can also be found in this unique animal kingdom. This game kind of reminds me of Africa on PS3. Remember that one? That was a pretty damn weird game, and I only just remembered it now. Nightmares become reality in our next release, an incremental dungeon crawler. It's called Horripilant, and it will be haunting indie gamers on the 20th. Explore disturbing dungeons as you sink deeper and deeper into the unknown. There's idler progression, some puzzle solving to be had, and no shortage of challenge in this frightening, smaller indie that fans of the genre should pay close attention to. I'm scared. Look at that art. Did you grow up playing Star Fox? I did. I found this game in a department store randomly, and I was blown away by the graphics. How was this possible on a 16-bit console? Still kind of amazing. But I've been waiting for a real proper tribute in the indie gaming scene ever since. Well, looks like my wish may finally be granted, because Squadron Phoenix is here at last from Raptor Claw. This on-rail shooter has plenty of personality with its furry cast, and also features rogue elements. Oh, a theme of this week, I guess. Your ship can be upgraded. There's huge bosses and battles by both land and sea in this promising and ambitious-looking title. Gosh, I'm getting so nostalgic over here. I'm a big fan of the library, but I have to admit I suck at returning my books on time. But I've never smuggled any out of there. I always check them out properly. But at least in book Smugglers, there's a reason for the smuggling, as doing so can potentially save a lot of lives. In this fascinating release, you'll do tons of resource managing, and interestingly enough, it's based off of some sort of true events. Good timing, seeing as we just released a list about historical indies on the channel. You should check it out. See if you can preserve a language that was thought to be lost on the 16th. Well, this looks, interesting. Screaming Head, a wildly trippy 2D platformer where you get to control a walking, talking head, quite literally named Mr. Head. This is the kind of game you'll only ever see on channels like this, I assure you. It looks hilarious, and honestly, I would love to mess around with it even for just a few minutes to see what it's like. The supposedly high difficulty scares me a little bit, but not enough. That art style, man, that's pretty damn trippy and cool. A storm is heading your way. It's actually heading to your PC directly. It's Stormbridge, launching on the 16th. Okay, I know it's another roguelite, but this game does have a pretty damn cool concept. You're being chased by a massive storm, and you need to build to keep away from it. It's an interesting twist on a genre that has no shortage of the same old, which is why I thought it was worthy of being included on this list. Check it out for yourself, Storm Chasers, this week. We haven't featured a game from Idea Factory on the channel in some time now, so let's change that. This is Calamity Angel Special Delivery, being delivered to Switch and PlayStation players on the 17th. It's a delivery service RPG where you must protect and travel with packages through dangerous situations to get them where they belong. Man, I remember waiting for my video games to be delivered by the UPS man back in the day. That was stressful, especially when you were ordering off of sketchy websites. Delivery games can be good fun, and this seems to be no exception. Getting down there now, mercifully, for my voice anyways, Towerbolt is flying onto the scene on the 18th. Control Bolter, a half-human, half-robot soldier trying to escape a mega tower. Dodge lasers with a very basic one-button control scheme, and try to master over 100 different floors as you dodge various obstacles that could end you in an instant. And if the going gets too tough, fear not, as there are accessibility options available. Go for speed rankings and more in this sci-fi neon indie that has you battling for your freedom. And closing out our week, we have Dead in Antares from Nacon. This is a stylish turn-based survival game mixed with RPG mechanics, and boy does it look awesome with that art style. You are on a quest to save humanity from certain doom. Now that's the most video game thing I've ever heard, and hey, that's why we love them, right? We get to be the hero most of the time. They're great when we get to be the villain too. But that's gonna do it for this week, folks. Thank you for all that you do for independent content and for seeing this list through. Voice to the voiceless, and I'll see you on the channel for more great indie gaming coverage.